Hi, my name is Victor Counter. I'm a professor and also a psychologist. I'm also the author of Bundle with God, a new book by Baker Academic that just came out a couple of days ago. And one of the questions that I've had from a lot of people, and some of you as well, they've left some comments, sent me private message about the book, has been who is this book for? Um, and to answer that question, I want to start off by just saying that Bonding with God is not for everyone. It is really a book that I wrote, something I think that will be relevant for the doubter, the person who prays but feels like the ceiling. It's right there. It's right there, and so their prayer is not going beyond where they think it should go. It's also for someone who has done everything right and still feels nothing. It's for someone who wonders if something is fundamentally wrong with their spiritual life. Nothing really. I don't think anything is wrong with you. As you read the book, you see why you might be feeling the way you might be feeling. Bonding with God, it's an important book because it shows you that your bond is not just, what it needs is just healing, so that you can enjoy the benefits and the fruit of a spiritual life and having a spiritual connection with a divine entity. This book also, it's for the burned out believer. It could be a pastor, it could be a church leader, it could be a religious leader in a community, it could be a worship leader, it could be the ministry volunteer, it could be the person who has given everything to a religious community or their church and now feels empty. It could be for someone who serves God publicly but privately feels disconnected, and as a result of that, they're sort of performing their faith. This book, I believe, would help you to understand why these things are happening and help you find your way back. I think also for professional purposes, especially for health professionals, it's a book that could be of tremendous benefit and resource, a great resource for a therapist, a psychologist, and a counselor who works with clients that are sort of navigating their spiritual crisis or issues around spiritual struggles and religious trauma. People working with clients that or people that might be navigating questions around faith transitions or the constructions. I think one of the word that comes out to describe some people in this category is the religious nuns. I don't think that's anything like that. It's just a season of transition, and probably those people who might be at a detachment phase. This book, I think, also it's for health professionals who need sort of a framework that takes both psychology and spirituality seriously. I think that attachment theory helps us to understand the psychology of faith, and so we bring both frameworks together in this book to help people understand what essentially is a faith experience and how a bonding with God it can be understood through this lens. Now, there's a lot of theological books and a lot of great books that have been written on believing in God. In psychology of religion, we call that religious cognition, whereby we focus on the cognitive processes that shape the way that someone, experiences, the way someone kind of articulates their faith or expresses their faith. But this is not what this book is about. It's more focusing on the emotional angle or the emotional dimension of living faith. I think the book also could be used for educational purposes for the seminary student or psychology student in a context where they integrate psychology and religion. It also very relevant for professors of psychology and professors in seminary settings who knows the theology about faith, about what it means to believe in God and all, but wants to understand the psychology of how people actually bond, right, or fail to bond with God. And I think it's also for anyone who has ever said in their heart that I believe in God, but I don't feel close to Him. And I think that sentence is the beginning of the most important conversation in the book. And I'm hoping that you get Bonded with God. It's out now on all your local bookstores. You can also, for convenience, get it on Amazon. And make sure that you drop a review. I look forward to reading all that you're learning from the book, and also excited about what this book will do for the world. Thank you. Bye.